Hey, what's up YouTubers, and welcome back to another Todd E. Walnuts update video. Today I have a couple of vinyl LPs, I have a little stack of VHS, and I got some little goodies I got from eBay and other stores like that. But before we get into that, there's a couple things I want to talk about. I want to say thank you to all my new subscribers and those who have been following me for a while. We recently surpassed 3,600 subs. And for me, that's pretty incredible. I know this is cliche, but I never would have thought anybody would want to tune in to hear me talk about movies, but you guys certainly did, and I appreciate it. I never thought I would get to 500, let alone over 3,000, and now 3,600, so thank you very much for that. When I hit 4,000, if I hit 4,000, I will do another contest, even though I said at one time I probably wouldn't do another contest. I certainly will if I ever do get to 4,000. And also to those who have purchased from my last video, the Unearthed DVDs, those will be in the mail tomorrow. I have about 10 packages I have to ship out. So bear with me on that. They will be out tomorrow for sure. I will get you guys tracking. That is for Rick and Max. I also did list some things on eBay. I will leave a link to my eBay seller channel in the description below. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I'll tell you why I'm selling a few things. So let's get into the pickups that I got over the past couple weeks. The first one I did its own video for, so I'm just going to show this briefly. If you want to find out more about this, you can check out my last video. For some reason it got demonetized. I'm not sure why. I even went back to watch it. And there was really nothing in that video that should have been demonetized. And even though I asked them to do to review it, for some reason they don't want to monetize that video. So this is the Giallo box set from Vinegar Syndrome. And again, if you want to see more about that, go check out the last video that I uploaded. Next one was an eBay purchase. I got this for $3, and this is a documentary called Something to Scream About, hosted by Brink Stevens and put up by Tempe DVD. And this is a documentary featuring 8 actresses from B movies, and they include, or is it 8 or 9? It's hosted by Brink Stevens right there. And these are the young ladies, the young scream queens that you will hear about in this documentary. And I love watching documentaries from time to time, so I had to pick this one up. I switched out the black case because it was pretty cracked and messed up, so I put it in this white case and it looks pretty crisp. I like the way that turned out. So if you guys have checked this one out before, let me know how you liked it. And again, there's all the ladies that are featured in this DVD. Some big names there. Some scream queens that we have grown to love over the years. The next one is a DVD called The Golden Glove, and it's a movie that's loosely based on a serial killer from Germany called Fritz Hanke. And this was listed on eBay as a Blu-ray. I know it doesn't have a Blu-ray release here in the US, but there are Blu-ray releases overseas. I think in Germany they released this on Blu-ray. But this arrived as a DVD, and I contacted the seller. It's a big seller, one of the big warehouse sellers on eBay, and they were very quick to refund my money and told me to keep this. So that was cool because I didn't want to have to go back out and ship this back during the pandemic and all that stuff. You know what I mean? It's just it was inconvenient for me, and they were very kind to basically give this to me for free. Haven't watched it yet. Looking forward to it. I love the serial killer and true crime type stuff. So if anybody has watched this one, let me know. The Golden Glove. It almost sounds like it's a boxing movie, but it's definitely not. It's a serial killer true crime film. The next one I picked up as kind of an upgrade, I guess. I did have this on DVD already. I had the 2-disc Splatter Edition. His name was Jason. 30 years of Friday the 13th documentary. but I didn't have the slip, and Chili Billy reminded me that this came with the slip. So I looked on eBay and I found this for a really good price, and the DVD is still sealed. So I gifted my other edition to a friend, a fellow YouTuber. So Mark, if you're watching, that will be coming your way, plus a couple other goodies that I sent to you. But I'm really happy to have the slipcover for that now. Next one here is John Carpenter's Halloween DVD with the lenticular cover. And about a month or so ago, maybe a little bit longer, I'm losing track of time here, I purchased the VHS with the same lenticular cover. And I wanted to also own the DVD because I think that looks really cool. You got the shape, and then you have the Halloween pumpkin, and that looks really cool. And I got this for a really good price. It's still sealed, nice collector's piece. The Anchor Bay edition of Halloween with the lenticular plate, brand new, crisp, beautiful collector's piece. And we go straight from a horror slasher to a children's classic, a family classic. And this is the Disney edition of Pinocchio, the Blu-ray DVD digital code. And I got 2 titles from Disney over the last couple weeks because I always forget to decline the title of the month, even though it's so easy to do. It's all digital now, it's all online, and it's literally one click. But I don't really mind when I get the animated stuff. I like to keep that in my collection. I do collect these. It's when I get the Star Wars or the superhero stuff, that's when I always decline it because I'm not really into that stuff. But I thought I would show these because these were new additions to my collection over the past couple weeks. So this is the Disney edition of Pinocchio, and it's the signature collection, and it says it's the first time on digital HD. So I will be selling the digital codes. I usually do that on a Facebook group that I belong to because I never use any digital codes. I'm actually against digital. I like physical media. So if anybody is interested in that, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just list it on Facebook. So that's Pinocchio. And the next one is Lady and the Tramp, the signature collection. This is the Blu-ray DVD digital. And again, I will be selling this code as well. I usually only ask for a couple bucks for these just to get rid of them. I don't use them. And I know a lot of people are collecting digital, and Disney is always very popular. So they'll sell no problem. But that is my little 2-haul for Disney for the last few weeks. They also included a lithograph for the Jungle Book, and I have a handful of these. I don't even know what to do with these. They come in a little envelope, and it's just a glossy, I guess, what is that, like maybe a 5x7 card, I'm not sure, but it's a movie club exclusive, and I have maybe 10 or 12 of these in these little envelopes. I never know what to do with them. I'll just kind of hang on to them. The next one is another eBay purchase because I waited too long, and this is the Arrow edition of Beyond the Door. This one is still sealed. It's a little bit opened up. We will open this on camera here, but I snoozed and I loosed, and this sold out pretty quick. So I went over to eBay and I found this for a really good price before it started to get way jacked up. But this is the limited edition 2-disc Blu-ray, and it does include the uncut English export version of the film. It is all region. And we'll take another quick look at the cover before I open this up. And that is beautiful. So let me pause it here and we'll crack into this bad boy. So the J card is off, and I will give you guys a quick panning if you want to pause and read any of that. Please feel free to do so. This was limited to 3,000, and it seems like it sold out really, really quick. A lot of good stuff on here. Beautiful piece. And now we will jump into the outer shell, the hard box, to the customary knock. That is really good. You can definitely tell they borrowed from The Exorcist, from that image. At least to me anyway, that really resembles Regan from The Exorcist. Beautiful artwork. Nice matte finish. Really nice edition. And it also does come with some goodies. I will open up that poster in a second. We'll flip through the book. And it is a, what did it say, 80 page? No, 60 page book. And I guess I'll just kind of flip through. Talks a little bit about the transfer and the credits. Some nice, clean, crisp images from the film. Tons of write-ups. Just a beautiful edition. Very glad to have this, and you can definitely tell this was a Exorcist ripoff. Look at that, very, very cool. So that is the book. I'm going to pause it here and stretch out the poster. That is the original poster art that I remember. This was also put up by Code Red, and I do own that as well. And here is the newly commissioned art that you saw in the box. Very, very nice. I think that's beautiful, and I love that image, but I prefer the old school original. Which one do you guys like better? Next, we will get into the movie, and it is opened already. To save a little time, I took out the insert and the promotional card. We'll get to that in a second. But the first Blu-ray is the uncut English export version. And the second disc is the US theatrical version. And you can flip that cover, which I will do. Since we already have that image on the outer box, I will flip that cover. So there you have it. The cover is flipped and you get the best of both worlds. You get the newly commissioned on the left and the original old school on the right. And for the insert lobby card, you have Beyond the Door. I guess there's a couple of them here. Ooh, a nice black and white. That looks cool. Really like the way that looks. Here's a German promotional piece. Here's an Asian. Really cool that Arrow Video includes those. And then here's the promotional card for An American Werewolf in London, which was another beautiful release from Arrow Video. So we will do kind of a quick recap. So there are all the lobby cards. I never really know what to do with these either. I just keep them in the case, but they're fun to look at. That is Beyond the Door, and let me know if you guys had a chance to pick this one up. Next, we're going to go through this little stack of VHS right here, and I picked up, what is that, 10 titles. I got them for about $3 a piece, and that included shipping, so I thought that was a really good deal. And these are old school horror films on VHS, and a lot of these are still sealed. This is the original The Mummy, starring Boris Karloff from 1932. The original classic. Really crisp and clean. All of these editions are really nice. The next one is The Mummy, starring Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee. This one was from 1959. I'll do a recap of these at the end too. Another Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee collaboration called The Gorgon. Look at that cover, that's a beauty. These are from the Good Times label. This one was put out by Good Times in 1988, but the film was from 1964. Next one is called The Skull. I know this one does have a Blu-ray release. I never did own this movie before. Another Peter Cushing classic. This one was from 1965. Next one is called The Evil of Frankenstein. Peter Cushing again. Nice color scheme there with the lavender and the red. Film from 1964. Peter Cushing again, Frankenstein and the Monster from Hell. That's a cool cover. And again, these are all in really nice condition. All the corners are razor sharp. They look like they're brand new. This is a Hammer film from 1973. Let me know if you guys have watched any of these, if you remember watching these growing up, some of these classics. Love that cover. Next one is called The Mummy's Hand. Film from 1940. This one is still sealed, The Mummy's Tomb. I ran out of these plastic containers, so I got to make another order for those. But all the ones that were sealed, I didn't need them for now anyway. Speaking of which, I know you guys are pretty savvy with your collectibles and all that stuff and how to protect them. Does anybody know what size I can get for these Arrow box sets that they put out? I know they're not always exactly the same size, but roughly it could be a little bit loose. I'd rather have it a little loose than too tight. But if anybody knows where I can get these plastic protective cases for something this size, please comment and let me know. So anyway, back to The Mummy's Tomb from 1942, right during World War II. Lon Chaney. Awesome. What a cool cover. It appears to be like it's 3D, like it's embossed, but it's not. It's just a flat cover, but visually it almost looks like it's popping out at you. Very, very cool design. Two more. This is The Mummy's Ghost, film from 1944. Lon Chaney again. Brand new and sealed. I'll take these for $3 a piece all day long. And the last one, another sealed one, another Lon Chaney. This is The Mummy's Curse from the Classic Mummy Collection. Very cool. I love that old school advertising for the film. That looks really cool. And then the yellow on the black always pops. This was put out in 2001 by Universal, and the film is from 1944. It says in his last appearance, Lon Chaney Jr. stars as the screen's most memorable movie monster, the Mummy. Very cool. So we will do a quick recap and we'll get into the vinyl. So this lot was very mummy heavy, but that's okay with me. You got the mummy, the mummy's hand, the mummy's tomb, the mummy's ghost, the mummy's curse, the mummy, the Gorgon, the skull, the evil of Frankenstein, and Frankenstein and the Monster from Hell. Let me know which one is your favorite in this lot. So I have 3 more things to show, and they're all vinyl, and they're all from the band Boston. And if you guys are on Facebook, you'll often see people post which albums most influenced you during your life. And this would be one for me, right up at the top, maybe the most. This was Boston's debut album, self-titled. This is the original vinyl from 1976. Yes, 1976. And sadly, 2 members of the original band, Brad Delp, the lead singer, and Sib, the drummer, are no longer with us. They have both passed away. But this whole I call it a soundtrack, this whole debut album was like a greatest hits. And every song on here, I'm sure you guys know. And they were such a great band, and they really had catchy tunes, and they had awesome harmonizing. They were so good. And that is their debut album. And they always had a spaceship theme on their albums, and it's supposed to represent them. This is supposed to be the city of Boston and the bubble of the spaceship. And they're bringing Boston to another level. That's what they wanted to kind of show in their album covers. They were pretty proud of their city. So proud that they named their band after it, and they had such great music. But that is the very first debut album from Boston. And this is their second album, called Don't Look Back. And there's the spaceship theme again. And it's very common on their covers. You'll see the next one as well. They only had 6 albums in their career. This one was from 1978, which was 2 years after their debut album. And this is a gatefold. And the 2 big songs on this album were Don't Look Back and Feelin' Satisfied. But there was a lot of songs you guys still may have recognized in this one. I'm going to pull it out of the plastic and we'll show you the gatefold for this. It's beautiful. This is another original pressing. It looks like it was never used. The first one is pretty worn. You can see it's had some wear and tear because it's such a great album. I'm sure it had a lot of play. This one is like brand new. And all 3 of these came together in one lot. But there are the boys in the band. A little bit about the lineup. And you can see that this is an original pressing from 1978. Very glad to have the first 3 Boston albums. And then I think it was 12 years later, 8 years later, they recorded their 3rd album, which is called Third Stage, and there is the spaceship theme again. And again, it looks like this one was hardly ever used. This one was put out in 1986. And this had the power ballad, Amanda. I'm sure you guys all know that song. If you don't remember Amanda, put it on. It's such a great song. Not going to sing it for you, but we'll take this out of the plastic and we will look at the gatefold. It's a little snug. Let me pause it for a second. So the plastic is off, and there again is the cover. Man, this thing is almost like brand new. There's a little bit about the track listing. the lineup of the band. And there's the track listing again. It took nearly 6 years to conceive and complete this album. They were very picky. They were sticklers about their music, and they really don't make music like this anymore, at least in my opinion. Now, there is still some very good music that is put out these days, but to me, the 60s, 70s, and even some of the 80s were the best music ever made by far. So let's do a quick recap. So there is their self-titled debut album, one of the best albums ever made. I will stand by that. There is their second, this is Don't Look Back, and there is their third, called Third Stage. So now I guess I'll tell you guys a little bit about why I'm selling some of my things. It's for a couple reasons. One is to kind of create a little space, make some space for new things in my collection. But two, my young puppy, my young dog Heidi right there, she's a Vizsla, she's 2 years old. We go to the vet tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning for a blood draw. And if everything goes as planned, which I'm sure it will, on June 3rd she will be having surgery for a spaying. They say that you should let a dog have at least 2 heat cycles before you spay them. That will prevent tumors and other things in their female areas, and I'm not going to get into all of that. But the surgery is going to be about $300, and to make it a little more comfortable for myself, I'm listing some of my things. I'm not begging for money. The items I listed are lower than any price that I saw on eBay, and I will stand behind anything I sell. It's either brand new or mint like new. I have everything in the description. I'm going to leave my eBay page down below. I'm looking to only sell to US buyers, but if you are out of the US and you like what you see and you're a friend of mine here on YouTube, you contact me and we'll work it out. I'll get it to you one way or another. It's expensive to ship overseas, but we will figure something out if you are interested. Just comment below or let me know. So that is it, guys. Thank you for watching. Take care. Say a little prayer for Heidi. Send good vibes or best wishes. Good luck. I'm sure everything will be fine. We'll find out tomorrow at 8:30. And if everything goes accordingly, June 3rd, she will be having her surgery. So thank you guys for watching. Take care, and I will see you in the next video. Later.